Now I want to talk about how to write a great summary paragraph. First, let me touch base on why we should summarize. Now, these first 3 reasons I have listed are all related to becoming a better reader. Learning to summarize improves your reading comprehension. Why? Well, because summarizing a text will help you remember it. Also, learning to summarize will help you learn to look for the most important points in a text. So summarizing is actually training you to look for the main idea. It helps you process information. It's a new way of looking and reading. Now, the 4th reason here is that when you write a summary, that will help you articulate and become conversant about the main ideas of a text. To be conversant means you can have a conversation about a text. I'm sure you've had the experience of reading something and then feeling like you kind of understand it, but you can't really talk about it yet. Well, when you write a summary, it helps prepare you to talk about it. Lastly, summaries help communicate important ideas quickly and cleanly. And there's many times in our lives where we need to do just that. So, now that we know summaries are important, how do we do it? How do we make them ourselves? Well, let me just remind us what a summary is. A summary is a concise presentation of the main points of something. What does concise mean? Concise means using as few words as possible to fully convey an idea. It means that you're being brief, but comprehensive. What are the traits of a good summary? Well, a good summary clearly introduces the text being summarized. It clearly articulates the main idea of that text. It is concise. It's written in your own words. Instead of quoting or copying the original, you paraphrase the original. And lastly, a good summary is objective and doesn't include your opinion. That's a different kind of paragraph that we will talk about later. Here's an example of a summary paragraph. In Technopoly, The Surrender of Culture to Technology, Neil Postman argues that all technologies come with benefits and detriments. He emphasizes this important point because he thinks humans focus too much on the benefits of technology without thinking about consequences. Postman also asserts that the benefits of technology are not equally distributed, and thus new technologies often contribute to inequality. His main purpose is to make readers think about how technologies change how we think, communicate, and interact as a society, and he reminds us that the stakes are high. Notice how the writer introduces the text in the first sentence and tells us who wrote it, and tells us what the main idea is. It's a very strong opening sentence for a summary. That's our topic sentence. Then the writer elaborates on how those points are made and what Postman's reasoning is. And this summary, which is only a few sentences long, gives us an idea of what this whole book is about. So then we can decide, do we want to read this book based on this summary? Now it's your turn to write a summary. In a few minutes, you're going to watch a video, and I want you to think about how you're going to write the summary of that video. The first step is that you read and watch and study that video. That's your text. So I want you to study it carefully and take notes. I would also recommend that you rewatch the text, rewatch the video, because it's hard to take everything in the first time. Look up any vocabulary you don't know and make sure you understand the video. Third, identify the main points in the text. Look at your notes. What stands out to you as the main ideas? Now you're ready to write a summary. Now your first version of the summary is probably going to be a bit too long and a bit too detailed. That's why you need step 5. Edit your summary down to be concise after you've written a rough draft of it. And then lastly, take the time to revise for clarity and correctness. And now you're all ready to go.